Hello, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. In this particular episode, I'd like to talk about a ruling that was just issued by a federal judge, yet another one against one of Trump's policies to try to avoid and impede the normal constitutional process of immigrants. So let me tell you first what has happened, why it occurred, what the lawsuit says, and how it affects people in this situation. So, as many of you have heard, um, over the last 2 years, Trump is against the immigrants coming in and applying for asylum. And he and his administration have done everything in their power to dissuade people from properly coming in and applying. Again, as I've said on other videos, if they come in and apply for asylum and lose, then they lose. They may get ordered voluntary departure, deportation orders, or whatever. Just because they come in and apply for asylum doesn't mean they're going to win. But there is a right to apply. Well, anyways, come about 3 months ago, the Attorney General issued a mandate, said there are to be no more bond hearings for those who come in and apply for asylum. They will remain in detention and they will stay there during the entire pendency of their asylum hearings until the end. Of course, he gave no realistic reasons for that. He gave no basis for that. He just issued the order that there's to be no bond hearing. So what that means is someone comes in, let's say from Guatemala or El Salvador, they apply for asylum, they're taken into detention. Normally, there's procedures that one can use in which to get out of detention and still fight the case. So clearly, the reason that the Attorney General issued his order to stop all bond hearings was another leaf in the hat of Trump to try to stop and dissuade people from applying for asylum. I mean, just on a note, that's not working. Everything that Trump is doing is not working to stop the influx of people applying for asylum. In fact, I've done immigration law for close to 30 years now, and never have I seen so many people coming in. So he's bringing attention to it. I think everything he's doing in order to stop it and slow it is increasing the flow because they know the attention's on them. But at any rate, um, the fact of the matter is that there was no real justification for the attorney general to issue such a decision. It just had no basis other than a punitive manner in which to dissuade future people from coming in. He was thinking, well, if they think they're going to be in detention for 6 months or a year, they won't come in. Which, people running for their lives, people whose family members have been killed, people who have been threatened, they will and have and continue to come into the U.S. to apply for asylum. So, the premise of why he did it in the first place was flawed. However, the federal court, just issued a decision saying that effect, that order cannot go into law because it's unconstitutional. The judge essentially said that people applying for asylum have a constitutional right to apply for asylum and have a right to apply for a bond hearing. And not only did the judge state that they have a right to apply for a bond hearing, that if they don't get a bond hearing within 7 days of detention, they need to be released. So, all in all, it was a very good decision. And there's lots of decisions that come out that I disagree with. So it's not just because it was against this particular order, which I'm happy it was, but it was very well reasoned out. It showed the rights that people have when applying for asylum, and it showed the arbitrary nature of the order given by the Attorney General. You can't just wipe away immigration law, constitutional protections, and human rights because you don't want people to apply for asylum. And they're learning that, the administration's learning that piece by piece, case by case, but that's what it takes. So, good day for people applying for asylum. If you happen to be in detention or know someone in detention that needs to get a bond hearing scheduled, feel free to give me a call. I'll let you know what can be done and so forth. If you like the video, click like, subscribe, and more on the coming videos.